Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've been watching the crypto world for a while, you've probably seen the wild ups and downs. Those explosive gains that make headlines, the shocking crashes that leave everyone breathless, and the non-stop news cycle that never seems to sleep. So right now, the big question on everyone's mind is crypto still worth investing in for 2025? Whether you're thinking of jumping in for the first time, you're sitting on the sidelines trying to make sense of it all, or you're even considering liquidating your positions, today we're breaking it all down. We're going to look at what's changed, what still works, and what you absolutely must watch out for. Stick around until the end, because by then, you'll have a much clearer idea of whether crypto deserves a spot in your portfolio this year. First, let's look at how the scene has changed. Because I want to be very clear, the crypto landscape in 2025 isn't the same as it was back in 2017 or even during the last bull run in 2021. The game has evolved. One of the biggest shifts we're seeing is the increase in institutional interest. It's not just a niche for retail investors anymore. Reports are consistently showing that major investment funds are increasing their crypto exposure. We're talking about serious money from serious players, which adds a layer of validation that wasn't there in the early days. Beyond that, real-world usage and the underlying infrastructure are getting stronger. This is a crucial point. We're seeing more tokenization of real assets, like real estate or art, being put on the blockchain. The DeFi, or decentralized finance, systems are becoming more robust and sophisticated. And in some regions, we're finally starting to see some much-needed regulatory clarity. This helps build a more stable foundation for the future, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. On the flip side, the core challenges haven't disappeared. Volatility is still incredibly high. Your portfolio can swing by double-digit percentages in a single day. Regulatory risks are a huge factor, as a new law or a government crackdown in a major country can send shockwaves through the entire market. And let's be honest, many of those speculative, small-cap coins are just as risky as they've ever been, essentially acting like digital lottery tickets. The landscape is more mature, but it's still the Wild West in many ways. So, with all that in mind, why do so many people still believe it's worth it? Let's explore the yes argument. There are three big reasons people are still bullish on crypto for 2025. First, major assets are gaining legitimacy. We're talking about the big players like Bitcoin and Ethereum. These aren't just fringe assets anymore. They are becoming more entrenched in the global financial conversation. For example, some analysts are forecasting that Ethereum could trade significantly higher this year, driven by its network upgrades and its central role in DeFi and NFTs. When the blue-chip assets of an industry become more established, it tends to lift the entire sector. The second reason is that increased adoption and infrastructure we talked about. This is a powerful long-term trend. The more services that are built on crypto rails, the more real-world assets that are tokenized, and the more integration we see with traditional finance, the more real the whole ecosystem becomes. It's moving from a purely speculative playground to a functional financial technology. This growing utility is a core part of the long-term investment thesis for many. And third, the opportunity for growth still remains. For investors who understand and are willing to take on the risk, the feeling is that the major growth phase may not be over yet. This isn't about expecting a 100x return overnight on some random coin. It's about recognizing that this is still a relatively young asset class compared to stocks or bonds. Some market analysts are even predicting that the current crypto market cycle could peak in the second half of 2025, suggesting there's still significant upside potential from here. Okay, now let's flip the coin and look at the other side. Why might crypto not be for everyone in 2025, or at the very least, why should you be extremely careful? The number one reason is, and always has been, high risk and high volatility. Just because the infrastructure is better and big institutions are interested, that does not remove the risk. Let me repeat that. The risk is still very, very real. The crypto market can, and does, experience brutal downturns that can wipe out a huge percentage of your investment in a short amount of time. You have to be psychologically prepared for that. Second, many coins still lack strong fundamentals. Speculation is alive and kicking. For every solid project with a real use case, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of coins that are driven purely by hype, marketing, and the hope of getting rich quick. It can be very difficult for a new investor to tell the difference between a promising technology and a well-marketed pump-and-dump scheme. Finally, there are the macro risks. We can't look at crypto in a vacuum. New laws, changes in tax policy, or shifts in the global financial environment can hit the crypto market hard. When central banks raise interest rates, for example, high-risk assets like crypto often take the biggest hit. Plus, many argue that the era of easy gains is behind us. The low-hanging fruit from the early days is gone, and finding real, sustainable growth requires more skill, more research, and frankly, more luck than it did before. So, if you're still considering it, what should you do? Before you even think about putting a single dollar into crypto this year, I want you to go through a mental checklist. Be honest with yourself. First, how much of your total investment portfolio are you willing to risk? This should be a small percentage, an amount that, if it went to zero tomorrow, wouldn't change your life. These are highly volatile assets, not a savings account. Second, do you actually understand what you're investing in? And I don't just mean knowing the coin's name and its ticker symbol. What is its purpose? What problem does it solve? Who is the team behind it? What does its ecosystem look like? If you can't answer these basic questions, you're not investing, you're gambling. Third, what is your strategy? Are you buying and holding for the long term, believing in the technology for the next 5 or 10 years? Are you trying to actively trade the swings? Are you diversifying across several strong projects, or are you going all in on one? Having a clear plan before you invest is crucial. Next, what is the regulation and tax situation in your country? This is so important and so often overlooked. How crypto gains are taxed can make a huge difference to your actual returns. Whether you're in the US, Europe, Pakistan, or anywhere else in the world, you need to know the local rules. And finally, the most important question, are you ready for losses as well as gains? It's easy to be a genius in a bull market when everything is going up. But are you prepared to see your portfolio drop by 50% or more and not panic sell at the bottom? Because that is a very real possibility in crypto. So, after all that, what's my personal take? Is crypto worth it for you in 2025? Here's how I see it. Yes, crypto can be worth investing in this year, and this is a very big, but only under the right conditions and with the right mindset. It is not a sure win. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme. However, if you are willing to accept high risk, if you invest only what you can comfortably afford to lose, if you focus your attention on the stronger, more established crypto assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum instead of chasing lottery ticket coins, and if you use good security practices to protect your assets, then yes, crypto could have a place as a small, speculative part of a well-diversified portfolio. But if you're looking for safe, guaranteed returns, this is absolutely not the place for you. You'd be far better off with traditional, less volatile investments. Think of it like this. Crypto is high risk, high reward. It's an investment that demands you be informed, prepared, and emotionally resilient. So, to wrap it all up, yes, crypto is still potentially worth investing in for 2025, but it is deeply conditional. You must know the risks, you must do your homework, and you must set realistic expectations. If you found this breakdown useful, please do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and maybe share this video with a friend who's been wondering the same thing, and I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. What is the biggest crypto question you have right now? I'll go through the comments, pick some of the best ones, and we might just do a part 2 to explore them in more detail. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay smart, and I'll see you in the next one.